bevo.com.
It's interesting, Danny, because you talk about how important it is to bring consciousness back into emotion, to sort of push the time between impulse and action as absolutely critical before you react. So is that why emails can be so dangerous?
Now, when we're face-to-face with someone, so a part of the brain, which I describe in the book Social Intelligence and then more deeply in the series Wired to Connect, the part of the brain called the social brain, actually, is monitoring the person we're with continually, moment to moment, microsecond to microsecond, and telling us unconsciously, well, this person is responding that way to what you just did, so what you should do next is the following in order to keep things smooth, harmonious, on track, on the same page. This is what makes interactions go smoothly, this part of the brain. That part of the brain, however, is crippled online. When you're sitting there in front of your video screen, there's no feedback loop. All you have is the words you send. However, there's a kind of optical illusion of the mind that goes on where you assume, because it's true in all other interactions, and the brain is wired this way, that all of your little emotional signals that go with whatever you say and do face-to-face are going along with your email, but they're not. And that means that there is an actual negativity bias in email where senders think that a message was positive, but that's because they assume all the other cues went along. It's an unconscious assumption. Receivers think that that positive email was more neutral. When the sender thinks it's neutral, receivers tend to think it's more negative. In other words, there's a negativity skew to email generally. That's baseline, but then there's another problem. And that is very often in face-to-face interaction, you get an impulse to do something or say something, and your social brain says, that's not going to be effective. But that message never comes back to you when you're sitting writing an email, because there's no feedback loop. The result is what's called flaming. Flaming has been known since the earliest days of email. It's when you're worked up about something and you sit down and you furiously type out a message, you hit send, and for a split second you have a feeling of satisfaction, and then this morbid sense of, oh my God, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Yeah. Hits you. Yeah, that's a flame. And it's a disaster. And it's a disaster that would not have occurred face-to-face, most likely.
bevo.com